Bro desperately flees through the forest, fighting for breath in his torn clothes. In a moment of carelessness, he trips over a tree root and tumbles down a steep cliff. After the heavy fall, his body betrays him from pure exhaustion and pain. As he furiously tries to push himself off the ground, he realizes he is not alone. Mysterious figures in cloaks watch him from the shadows, completely surrounding him. It finally hits him. They were behind everything from the very beginning. Clenching his teeth, Bro furiously curses his attackers, calling them scoundrels. The masked leader on the branch mockingly replies that they have waited long enough. He coldly asks why he is even running when he has no chance of survival, offering him a quick and painless death simply because noble blood runs through his veins. Insulted by the lies about his mother, Bro grips his small dagger, declaring that he will not die without a fight. One of the assassins just laughs, asking who even taught him how to fight. Knowing he has nothing left to lose, Bro readies his weapon. The masked leader mocks him, enjoying the fact that his prey refuses to give up, claiming it will only make the hunt more rewarding. Suddenly, 4 assassins drop from the trees right at him. Trying to defend himself, Bro swings his dagger, but an attacker easily dodges and strikes his arm, knocking the weapon away. Before he can even blink, the leader grabs him by the neck and lifts him off the ground. With his blade gleaming in the moonlight, he asks if he is finally finished. While holding him by the throat, the other assassins notice something strange and yell out a warning. Before the leader can react, Bro suddenly pulls out a hidden blade and delivers a fatal stab, tearing open a massive wound. The young man falls to his knees, but a crazy, triumphant smile spreads across his face because he managed to fight back. The remaining assassins are shocked. Watching their comrade drop dead, they realize his wild flailing was just a clever ruse. They admit his quick thinking is impressive in the face of death. But they have no intention of letting him live. An attacker rushes in, delivering a brutal kick straight to his head. Bro hits the ground, coughing up blood. The masked assassins surround him, coldly stating that his games are over. Even heavily wounded with a massive hole in his stomach, Bro refuses to surrender, digging his fingers into the dirt with a mix of defiance and desperation. He admits he is out of tricks, but takes comfort in taking at least one of them down with him. Without mercy, an assassin stomps directly onto his open wound, making him scream in agony. The captain watches this brutal scene and sighs, disliking the mess, but admits they cannot help it after losing a man. Just as death seems inevitable, a blinding flash of white light suddenly erupts. As the light fades, the masked leader widens his eyes in absolute shock. Before anyone can process it, an unknown force brutally obliterates one of the assassins, turning him into bloody paste instantly. The others watch the rain of blood in horror, questioning what that blinding white light was. Suddenly, a footstep breaks the silence. A surviving assassin turns around, panicking as he points behind them. Standing right there in the dark forest is a mysterious figure, wrapped in crackling blue electricity, calmly staring down the killers. Dressed in strange modern clothes and wearing a bizarre visor, the stranger stands completely still. The masked leader gulps, demanding to know what kind of strange attire he is wearing. Not waiting for an answer, a remaining assassin charges forward in a full sprint, aiming to cut the intruder down. But before he can swing, the stranger gives a cold smirk. In a split second, another terrifying flash of white light erupts. With no sound of impact, the attacker is instantly turned into a shower of blood. Realizing they just lost another man in the blink of an eye, the leader stares in disbelief as the stranger's body glitches through the lightning. The surviving assassins witness the impossible. Terrified, they scream that the stranger literally vanished and reappeared, moving like water through the air. The leader loses his mind, yelling at his men. He wonders if they are facing a legendary martial arts master using ancient chi energy, but cannot understand why such a master would help this pathetic boy. Seeing Bro taking his final breaths, the leader concludes the mission is a success anyway. Fearing the powerful stranger, he orders an immediate retreat. The assassins sprint away in pure panic, leaving the mysterious man with his dying prey. The assassin leader desperately leaps through the forest to save his life. However, the stranger just calmly raises his hand, unleashing that blinding blue light once again. In the next second, the leader literally explodes in midair, raining blood before he even hits the ground. Watching the final enemy get wiped out, the heavily wounded Bro falls onto his back with a wide grin. His eyes slowly begin to close. The mysterious stranger approaches, casually noting that his noble ancestor seems in a good mood despite bleeding to death. Bro tries to understand what his bizarre words mean, but his vision blurs. As he wonders if this is truly how he dies, the stranger checks his glowing futuristic watch. Muttering that they found him too fast, he realizes there is no time left. The stranger quickly pulls out a futuristic device, whispering that he wanted to come earlier and teach him how to use it. Knowing his ancestor is dying, he says he has to hurry. Without hesitation, he plunges a needle deep into Bro's chest. Finishing the injection, the stranger smiles, hoping his ancestor succeeds and does some good for his descendants. He casually mentions that these are cutting-edge nanomachines and tells the boy to just figure it out. Instantly, the stranger's body turns into a flash of blue energy and completely vanishes. Still bleeding out, Bro struggles to keep his eyes open, wondering what the strange boy just said. Lying in his own blood on the edge of death, Bro suddenly hears a strange mechanical sound inside his head. A cold robotic voice echoes through his mind, announcing that SkyCorp's Gen 7 nanomachines are now fully operational. Bro violently wakes up in a sunlit room, gasping for air. Trembling, he stares at his hands in absolute disbelief. He clearly remembers the assassin's blade tearing through his stomach, yet he sits here fully healed. Clutching his aching head, he notices his clothes are soaked. Suddenly, a wave of intense nausea hits him, causing him to heave uncontrollably. Pulling his hand back, he sees a sticky black substance clinging to his fingers. Opening his blood-stained robes, he finds his entire torso covered in this foul-smelling goo. Before he can even process the mess, a cold robotic voice echoes directly inside his head, asking if the user is finally awake. Bro leaps out of bed in pure panic, demanding to know who is hiding. His eyes dart across the empty room. As the voice politely asks him to calm down, Bro clenches his teeth, wondering if a hidden master is using an advanced, distant whispering technique. He quickly dismisses it. This bizarre voice is vibrating directly inside his brain. As if reading his thoughts, the entity confirms it. Freaking out, Bro screams at the empty room. The voice calmly explains it's connected to his brain, introducing itself as SkyCorp's Gen 7 Nano Machine. Overwhelmed, Bro begs to know why this is happening to him. The AI repeats its title. To his ears, the word Nano Machine sounds exactly like Nano Machine. His eyes widen in shock. Machine? He gasps, the exact name of the legendary demonic spirit. Overcome with awe and terror, he drops to his knees with a heavy thud. Trembling, he bows deeply, asking if he is truly speaking to the revered demon god. The system responds with dead silence. A servant guides Physician Beck across the courtyard to check on the young master. Baek asks if it was truly an assassination attempt. Guard Zhang bitterly confirms, shocked they separated them for such a brazen attack. Beck deduces that tricking a master like Zhang means they sent the elite stealth squad, calling Bro's survival a miracle. Beck asks why a tracker of Zhang's caliber couldn't follow the savior's trail. Zhang's face goes pale, recalling the horrific forest scene. The elite assassins were scattered everywhere, but their upper halves were completely obliterated. Only one body remained intact. Killed by the very dagger Zhang gave to Bro. Zhang reveals he found Bro lying nearby, having lost immense amounts of blood. But terrifyingly, the young master's breathing was stable. His clothes were pierced by a sword, yet his body lacked a single scratch. Agreeing it definitely wasn't the patriarch, they hurry to the chambers to solve the mystery. Back inside, Bro stares blankly. If it wasn't the demon god who saved him, who was it? The robotic voice casually states his assumption is incorrect. Confused by terms like user and self-regenerating, Bro questions it. The system goes quiet, scanning to convert its futuristic terminology into historical language. When the voice returns, its tone shifts. It respectfully addresses him as Master, clarifying it is not the demonic spirit Machine. Bro drops to his knees again, bewildered, asking what the entity actually is. The system simply offers to transfer basic information and its manual into his brain. Exhausted, Bro mutters a confused, "Okay." Instantly, an intense wave of blue digital light engulfs him. Bro's eyes roll back as his pupils glow with electricity, a surge of raw data violently forcing its way into his mind. The shock is so overwhelming he chokes, collapses onto the floor, and aggressively vomits out the foul medicine he was fed earlier. The nanomachine calmly explains that extreme nausea is a normal side effect of a first-time data transfer. Clutching his spinning head, Bro groans in pure agony, demanding to know what is happening. The system softly confirms it is indeed a nanomachine. Processing the futuristic knowledge, Bro stares at his trembling hand in awe. He asks if there are really tens of thousands of microscopic machines inside him. The AI corrects him with mechanical precision. There are exactly 6,482,400,000 nanomachines in his system. Sighing, Bro accepts reality. He desperately asks if the machine can leave his body. It answers coldly. It is programmed to exit only when he dies. Sitting alone, Bro reflects on his miserable situation. His half-siblings want him dead, and literal machines crawl inside his body. A sudden knock interrupts him. Guard Jang announces Physician Bayek has arrived. Panicking, Bro violently jolts up, whispering for the Nano Machine to stay quiet so they don't think he's crazy. The AI responds they can communicate through thoughts. Bro scrambles under his blanket, silently muting the system. The heavy doors creak open. Bayek suggests examining the supposedly asleep master quietly, but Yang notices Bro lying awake. Relieved, the guard rushes over. Before Bro can speak, a putrid stench hits Jang. Gagging, he steps back. Under the blanket, Bro breaks into a cold sweat, realizing he completely forgot about the sticky black goo he vomited earlier. Realizing the awkwardness, Bro greets Physician Beck, getting straight to business. Beck asks for Bro's hand to check his pulse. As Bayek places his fingers on the young master's wrist, his expression suddenly changes. He flinches, his eyes widening in pure shock. Jang panics, asking if something is wrong. Beck shakes his head, explaining the situation is incredibly felicitous. Chuckling in disbelief, Beck reveals all the built-up toxins have miraculously left the young master's body. His chi is now circulating vigorously. Staring intently, he asks if Bro consumed a legendary herb, delivering the ultimate news. Bro's body is now perfectly purified to learn martial arts. Bro freezes in disbelief. He looks down at his stained hands, finally realizing the sticky black substance wasn't random filth. It was decades' worth of deadly toxins forcibly expelled by the nano machines. Still reeling, Bro silently asks the system if it caused this miracle, commanding it to unmute itself. The robotic voice confirms it removed all the toxins. Furthermore, it restructured his blood vessels, tendons, and muscles, converting his physical form into an optimal athletic state. Speechless at this godlike power, a confident smirk breaks across Bro's face. Playfully, he asks if it's truly sure it isn't the demonic spirit. Unfazed, the AI bluntly replies it is a machine, not a machine, respectfully calling him master once again.